Hi everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and we are doing a video on my Lo Scarabeo Deck Collection. And these are my tarot decks from the publisher Lo Scarabeo. I don't have very many, as you can see. I realized that I also don't have as many Llewellyns as I thought, which is good because I only have a few that I really like in the first place. The same with my Lo Scarabeo. So it kind of works out in my favor that I don't like them as much as I thought I did, really. I have quite a few independent decks. And at some point in the future, I will be doing an independent tarot deck collection video. I am not doing it now because I have some coming to me that will be shipped sometime this year, and I'd rather just kind of wait until those decks come in before I do a independent tarot deck collection video. But my independent oracle deck collection video will be coming out probably next month. I will be doing that, so keep a lookout for that, or stay tuned for my independent oracle deck collection, because I think I may have done one in the past. Or I may publish one that's from my archives, my vault, if you will, my Abundant Life Tarot vault of old videos that have not come out yet. But I've probably added quite a few decks since those videos were done. So that's why I'm kind of circling back and redoing them. So here we are, my Lo Scarabeo. I did actually do a Lo Scarabeo tarot deck collection video sometime in the past, and well, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I looked at the video and it just wasn't. I don't know if I thought I recorded it and it wasn't. Anyways, it didn't work out. All right, so a couple of things about the Lo Scarabeo brand is this is the typical tarot size, give or take, and it is a mass-produced deck. All of their guides, whether it be the little white book here, like this one in the Wheel of the Year Tarot, will have all these different languages. They have English, Italian, Spanish, French, and Dutch. So that's cool. And some of them have some really cool meanings that are associated. So it's worth a quick look to see what they're talking about, what the deck creator is talking about, because they do have some good information here. Like, for example, in the Wheel of the Year Tarot, they have the Wheel of the Year, and they talk about how they structured the minor arcana. It says, because the structure of the minor arcana of this deck is we'll just say linked to the Wheel of the Year. The list and brief description of these 8 Sabbaths below will help in gaining overall vision of the cards and their place in the seasonal cycle. And it says in bulk, February 1st, and goes through all of them here. Samhain, Yule. Then it also shows the corresponding little, you probably can't see that here, but spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and they have little symbols here that are on the cards as well. So that is helpful, right? If you're doing a reading and you want to be concerned with timing. And I'm going to be honest with you about this particular deck. This was on my very short list of decks that I was thinking about either donating, selling, or trading. And the reason being is I was called to this deck last year. I believe it was last year. I'm not sure now. It's been a good while I've had it. And I love the images. I love like the whole idea of the Wheel of the Year and all of that good stuff. But then the tarot is kind of mean. Do you have decks in your collection that the messages could be a little bit delivered a little bit nicer, but they're just not, and you're like, I don't know about you. And then the readings were almost deliberately kind of not accurate, but I can't even explain it. I felt weird using it for a while, and it upset me to the point where I was like, you're going to go on my short list of decks and maybe moving on. But then looking at this white book today and seeing that, oh yeah, that's right, it has the corresponding seasons, and that's really helpful in readings. I may circle back and see if there's a salvage to this relationship that we can have happen. I don't know yet. The majors, the minors, and the wheel of the years spread. So yeah, there you go. Let's look at some of the cards in the card back. Here's the backs. Okay. And they have the seasons, you know, fall, winter. Assuming this is spring, summer, vice versa. I don't know. Here's Justice. Four of Pentacles, which is a great Four of Pentacles. Six of Wands. Focusing. Ace of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. Fully illustrated. Ace of Wands. Temperance. So it's not a bad deck. And you know, here's the moon. I'm not a fan of this moon, I'll be honest with you. I thought I was when I first got this deck, but knowing that the meaning of the moon, this does not do anything for me. Two of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. Let's see if I can make that focus. Let's see if I can find... Here's the Magician. I'm going to see if I can find... Here's Death. Death is okay. There's the World, which is on the cover. Nice. Trying to find the Lovers and the Devil, or did I pass the Lovers? Maybe I did. I don't know. But for certain, I wanted to show. Here's the Tower. It's a proper Tower card. I like that. Here's Judgment. I also like the Judgment card. And this, here's the Fool. Just kind of a cool concept. Queen of Swords. Frustrated because I'm trying to find... Oh, I love the Star card. It's called the Stars card. That I do appreciate. Here's Five of Cups. Which what I took issue with was in this one is all the cups are knocked down, which is fine. You know, I know the meaning of the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith meaning, but I don't appreciate that. So, here's Three of Swords, which I do appreciate. So one of these days I'm going to be doing a focus in on different or various cards, like across decks, like Three of Swords, and look at several of the decks in my own collection, and we kind of compare and talk about them in depth. So I'm looking forward to that, and Three of Swords would be definitely one we would discuss, and this would be one I would pull from. So that's another reason why I'm keeping this one around, because this deck will be a great deck to kind of play off with, like if I compared it with my Centennial traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which is like my learning deck, you know, my OG deck, then you can say, okay, here's some similarities, here's some differences, here's some nuances that I pick up from one or the other, and then you kind of really enrich your meaning of that particular card. Or, you know, so, I don't know, just some thoughts there. Love this, though. The rising up of a new dawn, but yes, you're kind of a little despondent and a little brokenhearted over what has passed. But you got to move forward. Got more numbers to climb. Oh, here's the sun. Here's the Empress. Showing some that I think people appreciate seeing. Okay. Here's Strength, which is not traditional. And here we go. Here's the Devil card. Now, that is some kind of devil card for you, right? I feel a certain kind of way with this one. So, yeah. It's going to probably... I go back and forth with my deck collection. Like, I'd say the majority of the time, I'm very pleased with the decks, whether I just want to pull them out and just kind of go through the images and kind of look at the guidebooks and kind of be with the decks. I may not be using them at the moment. And sometimes I'm called to use them several months or even years later, and I'm happy I kept them. And my collection is small enough that it's not really hurting me per se, but you know, you always want to be mindful of what you have in your collection and if it's resonating with you or not. Here's Three of Cups. And if it's not resonating with you, passing it along to someone that it will resonate with. So that's how I look at my deck collection. But right now, as it stands, I'm in a good place in terms of like just feeling good and solid and appreciating my decks. I realize I actually am a person who does use decks or called to use decks seasonally. I have a collection of about probably about 90 decks when it's all said and done between Oracle and Tarot. More Oracle than Tarot. We have 7 of Pentacles, and I do use them in like different times of the year. So it's not uncommon for that for me. Here's the Chariot. Okay, and here's Ace of Swords. So that's the Wheel of the Year. So in looking at this one, I realize I'm going to keep it because I can use it as part of like a teaching deck or learning deck. As well as maybe it might get a little softer and nicer if I start to pull it out. I don't know. I don't think they have feelings or anything, but I just felt like, wow, don't understand why the readings have to be so nasty. Anyways, let's move along to the Sensual Wicca Tarot. And the box is starting to get worn. That's just indicative of how much I've really taken to this particular deck. And I was surprised by it because of a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm not Wiccan nor am I a witch, but I have witch friends, so there's nothing knocking them for it. I just don't practice witchcraft. But I do appreciate this deck. And it's reversible. I'm not a fan of the backs. I'll be honest. Don't really care for the backs. But they work. It's okay. It's just me. It's okay. Then you have your standard little white book. And like I said, I always encourage people to check them out at least once or twice. You know, just kind of thumb through to see if something catches your eye. It kind of goes into, it says, exploration. Sex and sexuality are primary forms of individual identity and the identity of the couple. In many cases, it may be useful or necessary to ask questions about sex and seek answers, but this process is often a very delicate one. We suggest this spread to couples because it may assist in sexual exploration. We advise that partners interpret the spread calmly and together. If possible, the spread should be done in total intimacy, perhaps after undressing in a place and time that is comfortable for both. And so it's talking about this sensual, this spread here is an exploration spread. And it breaks that down, desire, listening before and after. So I did use this deck heavily a while back in my Astro monthly tarot and oracle readings on this channel, and I found it accurate. I found it wonderful for sexual and sensual relationship love readings. It's just a really cool deck, even for non-sensual sexual relationship readings. Even for everyday life, it's a really good reader. It's fully illustrated, and I really enjoy the deck itself and the energy. It has quite a few spreads in here. It has a meditation one, a communication one, and then they have the suggested meanings. And of course, in Lo Scarabeo style, it's going to have multiple languages. Let's take a look at some of the cards. And I believe I have not done a Wheel of the Year. I'm not sure if I did an unboxing or not of this. I'm pretty sure I have not done a deck in focus because I'm not sure what's going on with this one yet. But now I'm sure now, for sure. Keeping it staying for now. Anyways, here we have the Fool. Let's see if I can make this focus. We see her before she hits the edge of the road, where she's like possibly going to have to make a decision on if she's going to take that leap or not. The Mother of Wands. There is nudity, so if you're not old enough to watch, and I should have said that before, some of these decks have nudity. A Rising, and this is Judgment. I was in the search for, or on the market for, a sexual or sensual deck, and many people made some great recommendations, but this was the one I was called to the most to work with, and I'm glad, because I do resonate with it. This one works with me. Sage of Wands, which is the King of Wands. It's diverse. Transformation. Death. Okay, this one has nudity, so I'll just kind of cover up their parts, like full-on frontal nudity. Ace of Pentacles. Maiden of Pentacles. So it's even diverse in terms of people and animals and races, and it's just the High Priestess. Six of Swords. I'm a big Six of Swords fan, so I'm always drawn to really good Six of Swords cards and decks, and I think this is one. I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. It's moody to me. Five of Pentacles. Love this depiction of Five of Pentacles. You have, oh, this seems so far away, but it's right there, but you feel out of it, and you're in the barren, drought-filled desert, looking out, or looking longingly to what you think is paradise. Digging that. Here's Ace of Wands. So I won't bore you with a full-on flip through of this deck, because I believe I have done an unboxing of it, and I probably went through, if not all the cards, most of them. So check that out for the Sensual Wicca Tarot. Okay. Let's move these to the side. Okay, so this is the Triple Goddess Tarot, and clearly I love it so because it is in a bag, because the box ended up falling apart after much use. And here's a little white book. Here's the card backs. I have not done a deck in focus, nor do I think I've done a deck like unboxing. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure no deck in focus, but there will be one in the future. I say that about quite a few of my decks, and I mean it. You know, I've got just plenty of content opportunities, right? to show you all what I got. So keep a lookout for that, but we'll go through some of the cards. But I love this deck. I know it's either some people love it or they hate it. I'm in the camp that loves it, right? I don't know why. I was called to it instantly. The moment I saw it, I was like, I have to have it. I ordered it, and the rest is history. It is reversible. I like the color of the backs. I think it goes nicely with the front. I love the way it reads. This is a working deck for me, by the way. This is a deck that I use primarily in love readings, and I use it in client readings. I use it sometimes for myself, but readings for others for sure. For sure. There's some quirky things about this deck, though, that I have to tell you about. One of them being is in the little white book, they break down this crone-esque deck, because this is a crone-esque deck. The courts are all women, including the king. There's a king of swords, for example, and it's a woman. There are men in this deck. However, they are not, I don't believe in them. Well, no, I think there's kind of a male energy kind of depicted in some of the major arcana, but not in the courts. All right. So, and then here's a little, it has a legend here, and you will need the legend when you first start using this deck. There's the swords, the cups, easy enough, wands, pentacles, page, and in the card, you'll see it because, again, the women are pages or whatnot, so it's kind of hard to tell. And you kind of confuse the two, the page with the knights. This is the knights, a little chess horse. Here's a little knight, or this. That's why I confuse it, because this kind of looks like should be a knight. To me, it almost seems like it should be vice versa, but not really. I don't know. Here's the queen, so a smaller crown. And here's the king, a larger crown. So, and then they go into some info about the deck. They have some spreads, triple goddess spread, the maiden, the mother, the crone, using the cards, about the creators, Jamie Elford and Franco Rivoli. Okay. Here's the Ace of Pentacles. No borders except for this little title here. Four of Cups. Three of Wands. Okay, here we go. This is the Queen of Pentacles. See the crown? You get a little confused probably. And if your eyesight is starting to go, you got to be like, okay, what is it? You got to really look at it. That's my only kind of like, I'm not sure about that. Here's Two of Cups. I do like this Two of Cups. And see, there's a guy there. Here's one of the two full cards that's in this deck. In case the other one pops up, I'll show you the difference. Ten of Cups. There's Eight of Wands. I really like this Eight of Wands. Messages, fast moving energy. Four of Wands. Seven of Pentacles. Ah, the Devil. This is a devil card that's not for everyone, okay? And you have to at first be like, what's devilish about this? But if I read to you the card meaning, then you'll see. Let's skip that here. Okay. Why am I blind? Where's the devil? There's a death. Oh, there we go. The crone. Now that I take issue with. Okay, why the devil has to be the crone? That is what I take issue with that. But aside from that, there's some cool stuff in this card, and we'll discuss it. Break free from addictions. Release yourself from restraint. Indulge in healthy activities and passions. Free yourself. Abandon addictions. Do not give away your power to others. Overcome fear and addiction. You have the snake kind of slithering here. Things are not as what they seem. Here, things feel good, but you're bound here. You're stuck here. Maybe it's even your self-imposed limitations. You're afraid to go off into the forest to see what else is there for you. So there's, I don't know, it's a different kind of devil card, and it's not for everyone for sure. Here's the Nine of Swords, which is like your traditional Nine of Swords. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. I think they just call it the Wheel. Or they do call it the Wheel of Fortune. Here's the Six of Cups. Love the warm tones in the Six of Cups. Which reminds me, I'm hoping, oh, here's the Five of Swords. I'm hoping the Five of Cups comes up. Let's see if we can find that. Here's the Magician. Here's the Three of Pentacles. Here's the High Priestess. Here is the Page of Swords. Two of Wands. King of Wands. I'm glad this came up. Here's the King of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. Chariot. Let's see. Here's Strength. Here's Four of Swords. Not eight. I'm going to see if I can find what I'm looking for here. Here's Ace of Cups. Here is, okay, the Emperor, kind of scary, foreboding figure, man. Here's Eight of Cups. Really love this Eight of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. Let's see, here's the Hierophant. Not your typical Hierophant. Okay, and then I thought there were no men in the courts, but I misspoke because here is a Knight of Swords, and he's a man. So, I mean, there's still some balance of male energy. Here's Eight of Swords. Here's Temperance. Seven of Swords. 10 of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. Oh, here we go. Death card. Five of Pentacles. I love this Five of Pentacles so much. The Moon card. Okay. Empress. Queen of Cups. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands. The Star card, which I adore. Three of Swords. Here's King of Swords. Here's a Knight of Pentacles. Justice. The Hermit. The Tower. Okay, here's Three of Cups. And here we go. Five of Cups. I adore this Five of Cups so much. Okay, so I was going to see if I could find here's the World card. See if I could find the other full card. Here we go. And here's the Lovers. Here's the Lovers. Beautiful. Here's the two full cards. Why they have two full cards, I'm not quite sure. And they probably explain it in the book. Or I'm not sure if they do, actually, which is kind of frustrating, but that's okay. And my apologies if they did. I don't think they did. Maybe they talked a little bit about it. I don't remember. But I do like this deck a lot, as you can tell. almost there. We have the Thelema. This is another one that was going to go on my list of ones that I was thinking about getting rid of or not passing it along to someone else, and I may still. But then every time I pull it out, I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. But there lies the problem, I think. So now this Lo Scarabeo deck actually has a guidebook that's glossy on the inside, and it is still in other languages, but it's a little bit more substantial and nicer. No, Bishop. What the cards mean. I think it has some spreads. Let's see. Yes, it does. The Thelema spread. Using the cards, and I think that's it. I think. Okay. Here are the card backs. I won't go through all of them. I don't know if I did an unboxing or not of this deck. And sorry, this is going to drive me crazy. Okay, here we go. Here's Ten of Swords. I'm probably like many people who saw this deck and was like, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. And I have to have it. But then, I don't know. I haven't been using it at all. Nine of Pentacles. And maybe that may change in time. I used it when I first got it. I did use it quite a bit. But then over time, it just kind of got pushed off in the back. It's beautiful. It reads well. As opposed to how the Wheel of the Year was with me, this is always a very, you know, the voice of this particular deck is very comforting and not abrasive. Bishop, my husband left and he's upset. Bishop is upset. Okay, the Sun. Let's see if I can get my dog to get his happy back. Seven of Pentacles. Here's Ace of Pentacles. Bishop. Strength. I mean, so it's a gorgeous deck. Here's Seven of Wands, fully illustrated. Kind of a little different cardstock than the other Lo Scarabeo decks. And it kind of easily chips there, which I'm not appreciative of. Nine of Cups. But it's still it's a good reader. And for that, I'm probably going to keep it. And who knows, I may be called to use it later this summer. I don't know. It's like I go through this deck now and I'm like, Four of Pentacles, I could see myself using it. So for time's sake, we won't go through all the cards, but I may in the future do a deck and focus and see if that also will kind of reignite my love of to go. But before I do that, would you mind so terribly if I light my candle? I'm kind of like OCD about that. I don't like my candles not all the way lit. Kind of weird. I'm OCD about it, but I am. Okay. So, Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. This is a special little deck. As you can tell, I've hardly used it. I bought it with the intent to use it for decks for like when folks are going through heartbreak, right? But then I'm still called to really just still work with the Trouble Goddess for that purpose. So now when I come to this deck, when I'm looking at it, this is one of those decks that's in my collection because I just really like the way it looks and even almost the way it smells. I just really am digging just the presence of it. And I'm hoping that in time, it will become a working deck. And if it doesn't, at this point, I'm okay with that. Because I like it for my collection. Here are the backs. And here's Ace of Swords. Okay, we need to focus. Okay, Bishop. Oh, I need my son to get my dog. Seven of Swords. Look at that. Not your traditional Seven of Swords, of course, but that's okay, right? I mean, this is Beautiful artwork. It's got that Tim Burton style going on. Knave of Swords. You know, I was born in 1980, so my childhood and teen years, we had you know, movies that came out with this kind of art style, and it just, I don't know, it's a little nostalgic for me. Eight of Pentacles. Now, it does have this border, which it would have been nice if it was borderless, I suppose, but that's okay. Here's King of Chalices. And then we have the Moon. I did do an unboxing of this deck, so check that out. Eight of Wands. If you want a more in-depth look at this one, take a look at that. I'll put you all to the side. And this is my most latest and newest addition to the Lo Scarabeo Abundant Life Tarot collection. I just added this one, and I also did an unboxing of this, so I won't go through all the images. But what I like about this box and the Thelema is that it is a sturdier box. And now I can use it. Bishop! This one, you can, he is just going so sad, and we need to train him out of that. I do not like a whiny dog. I barely can tolerate pets anyway, but I was like, no, let's go, you know, let's go ahead. The kids really want it, but of course it's my husband and I taking care of it, and it's like, with my tarot, you know, business going on and all the other things I've got going on, a pet is just adding a lot to my responsibility level. This is created by Fabio Lastrani, 78 cards. I like this box a little bit more, just a little bit more, because of the bigger or longer little lip, or whatever you want to call this here. It's shorter here, so this just more easily pops off, but truth be told, both of them pop off more easily than I'd like. What would have made this an even better design if it was more like this, like a flip up like that, I think. But I don't know. But here are the backs. I like the backs so much. I love the colors. I love that this is comprised of skulls here, skulls in the flowers. Bishop, I think he might be stuck in the garage. He sounds like distant but close. And I need to go see. Let's see. Here is Two of Pentacles. Oh, I love this Two of Pentacles. Let me show you. Here is Three of Wands. One moment, you guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. It turns out he was in my bedroom. He was locked in there. He needed to go to the bathroom. My husband accidentally closed the door when he was leaving to go to Home Depot. Oh my goodness. So glad I went to go check on little Bishop. All right, Three of Wands. I was talking major mess about Bishop, wasn't I? Oh well. Oops. Sorry, guys. Pulling and tugging at the tripod. Okay. Three of Cups. I won't go through all of the cards for time's sake, but I just want to say I really do enjoy this deck. I wasn't sure of what to expect, and it has come at a time where I needed this Santa Muerte to come in and help me, as I had 3 deaths occur between May and June. Say June, yes. Or actually, I'd say July, not June. And it's been challenging, to say the least. It's been a death per month. And this deck came at a time when I really needed some guidance through this transition as some loved ones have passed on. And I really appreciate even the like sense of humor of it all with this deck, the Sun, because I found that going through this transition process of grieving loved ones who have passed on, that with the ones who are still here, we are left with memories that make us laugh, make us cry, but make us come together. And through thick and thin, better or worse, you know, we're thick as thieves, you know, and it felt good to be in, you know, communion with friends and family as we mourn and as we celebrated these individuals' lives. And this deck has been very nice to be able to call upon for myself. I have not did any readings for others with it, but I've done readings for myself and I really enjoy it. 3 of Swords. More so than I thought I would. I'm probably going to do a tarot combos video with this deck. Here's King of Wands. So be on the lookout for that. I've got some different ideas of decks I think would go nicely with it. 9 of Swords. Some kind of 9 of Swords, right? I feel so bad talking mess about Bishop. Here I am thinking he's just whining for my husband. He could care less. He needed to go to the bathroom. 7 of Wands. We never lock him in our room because Lord knows what would happen. 10 of Swords. Okay. So 6 of Cups. Anyways, I have an unboxing of this, so check that out for more of a look through or see through, or what do you call that? Walk through. It's not see through. See through would make it invisible. Walk through of that deck, of this deck. So there you all have it. This is my very small Lo Scarabeo deck collection, for better or for worse, and for richer or for poorer. I'm digging these particular decks, and I'm glad I got them. The only one that I'm like really sad that I'm not bonding with more would be the Thelema, but only because it probably is because there's been so many decks that have come in since I've got this one that it just got pushed to the back and by the wayside, and I just need to pull it onto the front, put it up on my shelf by my reading table and start to work with it. And that may be all that's needed, and that's what I will do to really rebuild that relationship with it. But the other, and this one, I've got some different ideas with it. This one's going to be great for other videos I've got planned. So all in all, I'm happy with my decks. And yeah, let me know what Lo Scarabeo decks you're working with and that you got in your collection or that you want to get. Or maybe you see these and you got questions about them. Ask away. Much love, many blessings. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.